Well, our guest today is a returning favorite. Will Hutchins has had a long and distinguished and certainly eventful film and television career, best remembered as TV's Sugarfoot, and he'll be turning 91 years old this week. We were going to have a big celebration for his 90th birthday.
I was young then.
But the pandemic and everything, unfortunately, we had to put that on hold, so we're going to do it for the 91st today.
We missed so much fun. You were supposed to come, and they were going to open up the library up in the corner there. We were going to have all kinds of fun and frolic and wear costumes, and take over the whole neighborhood, but no, didn't work out.
But we're taking this time to wish you now a happy 91st birthday.
Thank you. I paraphrase Betty Davis. Being 91 ain't for sissies.
That's true. That's true.
But luckily I have dyslexia, so I'll feel like I'm 19. So I don't feel so bad about that.
No matter.
Hey, Babs, can I stay up late tonight and watch the scary movie? She gave me permission.
Right. I was going to say, the jokes come so fast when we do an interview with you. I have to duck sometimes. The joke.
That's what Babs says when I tell a joke.
I had that writer for Bob Hope on the show. You could have.
Oh gosh, that was wonderful. Oh, that was just wonderful. Oh, it brought back so many great memories of that guy.
Yeah.
Dear Bob. Can I tell you one or two of them?
Sure, of course.
Okay. Well, back in the 40s, my mom knew a newspaper guy, and every January 1st, he got us tickets to the Rose Bowl game, and we got good seats. And this one year, we were there on the aisle, and it was we were about halfway up to the top and on the 40-yard line. I mean, just great seats. And here it is, the second quarter, halfway through the second quarter, and here comes Bob Hope trudging up the stairs. And my mom was all thrilled, and she tried to be funny. I guess he got that a lot. People were trying to be funny to him. She said, "Oh, The Thing." That was a big hit song,
right.
The Thing. He didn't blink an eye. He just looked at her and said, "I took a shortcut." So I'll never forget that. And then another time, I was working at NBC. I started at NBC as an actor, and I ended at NBC in the warehouse. What a career, huh? So I worked for 12 years in the warehouse. I was a warehouseman. And so I was there in the sound stage where I started as an actor, and here comes Bob Hope and Entourage, and he's leading the pack, and he's sort of got a smile. I think he always smiled. And he was whistling a tune known only to himself, and he was just coming along, so just with a jaunt, and he looked at me and gave me a big wink. Boy, I'll never forget that.
And didn't you see him playing golf once?
Oh, yeah. He and Crosby were versus Martin and Lewis.
Right.
At the Rancho Golf Course, across from 20th Century Fox. And it was open to the public, but I was in my uniform because I had a weekend off from the Army, and so I got in free. And Bing Crosby ended up in a sand trap, and he wanted to hit the ball out of the sand trap, and he said to the crowd, he said, "Somebody stop my ball from rolling off the green, please." So he hit the ball, and it landed on the green. He turned around and he gave me a wink, too. So I got winked at by both Crosby and Hope. Ta-da!
Wow. All you needed was Dorothy Lamour to wink at you. You'd have the trifecta. But we don't want to make Babs jealous.
And yesterday was our 33rd anniversary.
Absolutely. I can hear her. It's a mixture of affection and grimacing, I think, in the background.
Well, I've made her a religious person. Every time I tell a joke, she looks heavenward. Now, I made up a haiku for our anniversary, and it goes like this. Anniversary 33. Tai Kimosabi. Thee, me, ha ha, we. And she, in turn, gave me 3 cards, one for every 11 years. And this card shows a pretty gal in a polka dot top kissing a guy who looks a lot like Dagwood, of all things.
Oh, okay.
And it says, I can't read the writing. Oh, here, I'll get my glasses here. Find the one who makes your heart smile, it says on the front. And then inside, it says, all my love, happy anniversary. And she addresses it to Marshall Lowell Hutchison. That's my real name, folks. And she writes, 33 long. Eat your heart up, Frank Sinatra. Happy years. Let's go for a few more, huh? Unlike Warner Brothers, I'm renewing your contract. I love you, you big lug. Oh no, lug.
Now I thought the card was going to say, you look for someone who makes your heart smile. I couldn't find him, so I settled for you.
Hey, Ghosty says he should have said, I couldn't find someone like that, so I settled for you. She's laughing from the other room. Unlike when I tell a joke. But you know, I didn't tell you this when we first started. You got me going now pretty good. But I was terribly. I get stage fright. But this is nothing like opening on Broadway or doing a screen test. I get more scared doing your show.
Oh.
And, that's true. I feel not unlike Jimmy Cagney going to the electric chair and
Angels with Dirty Faces.
Sure. Yeah. And halfway there, he's putting on a bravado, you know. Halfway there, he breaks down and goes, I don't want to go. Don't make me go. And they drag him to the chair. And now, I don't know, second thoughts on that one. Was he really that scared? Or was he doing that so that the dead-end kids wouldn't try to grow up to be just like him? Or, option 3, was it Pat O'Brien who played the priest, looking up to God and praying for a miracle?
Oh.
And that might have been God answering Pat O'Brien because he gave him a nice close-up.
I never thought of that third option. That's interesting.
Yeah.
See, I always thought, because I was a young kid who was a Cagney fanatic. I think I told you the story.
I still am.
I would even watch The Bride Came COD. I'd even watch that one. But I just thought that Cagney's character in Angels with Dirty Faces was just so tough. There was no way he was ever going to break down in tears. I always thought that he did it as a sign of bravery, that his last act,
It was beautifully directed by Michael Curtiz, too, because you see his bravado, and you just see him walking down the last mile, the end. But something happens, and all of a sudden you see a shadow or something. Then you hear this strange primordial moan or groan, and you're not quite sure what it is. And they build it up into that great, great, great moment. To me, he should have won an Oscar every year.
Absolutely.
They should have given a Jimmy every year. Now, I think you told me that Orson Welles spoke so highly of him.
Yeah, said he was the greatest movie actor ever because nothing Cagney ever did, no human being ever behaved like that, and yet every single moment of Cagney on film is true. That's what Orson Welles said.
I wish we were on TV because a buddy of mine, Lenny Weinreb, used to do a great Cagney, and he put his elbows into his side and put his fists out in front of him and go, I got a good right hand, I got a good left hand. All I need is a good pair of suspenders, because he's always hiking his pants up.
Right. I have to admit, my favorite moment in Angels, aside from the ending is fantastic. I mean, it's one of the greatest moments in cinema history.
You said it.
But my favorite moment before that is just a throwaway line that Cagney gives to Pat O'Brien. They've just reunited. Cagney's out of prison. Gosh, I forget his character's name. It's going to drive me crazy now.
Rocky somebody?
Rocky Sullivan. Rocky Sullivan, that's his name. So Rocky Sullivan comes out of prison, and he meets Pat O'Brien, who's now the priest and everything. And Pat O'Brien says, as he's dropping him off at the rooming house where he's going to live, Pat O'Brien says, why don't you come by the church on Sunday? And Cagney goes, yeah, I'll help you with the collection. That's the best. That's the best line.
I bet anything that was his mind, too.
It's got to be. It's got to be. You know, speaking of nervousness, I don't think you've ever told this story on the show, but I was wondering if you could...
Well, only one. I think I've run myself dry with you. That was another thing that scared me. I think I told you more than I ever told my psychiatrist. You'd make a great psychiatrist, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. No, the story about Captain Video.
Oh, yeah. Do your listeners know who Captain Video was?
My listeners do, sure.
Post, P-O-S-T, P-O-S-T, the cereals you like the most. The cereals made by Post take you to the secret mountain retreat of Captain Video, Master of Space, Hero of Science, Captain of the Video Rangers.
And do you remember what his trademark was?
Yeah, he would say zoom, right?
Yeah, that's right. He would go zoom, and he'd do it with a gesture. He'd make his left hand look like a rocket ship taking off. Yeah, and the kids would love that. Yeah. So anyhow, Warner Brothers worked us hard, put us to bed wet. That was during the week. And then on weekends, they sent us off on these personal appearances, for which they were paid handsomely. And the trickle-down effect hadn't quite come into play yet in America, so that was that.
Right.
And so here I was on one Saturday in my full Sugarfoot regalia, in a two-seater jet plane heading up to Fresno, California. There was an Air Force base up there. I was going to make a personal appearance there. And I was in my full regalia, so I could just get out of the plane like Captain Video, and they'd know who I was, anybody that happened to be watching the show ever. So I was going up there. Halfway up, the pilot says to me, "Hey, you mind if I do a few loop-de-loops?" And I was young then. It had no sense. And I said, "Sure, let's do it." So he went, I felt like I was caught in a mix master. But it was fun. It was fun. I really enjoyed it. Yahoo! That was great. He says, I tried that with Captain Video a few weeks ago. I said, "Oh, yeah, you always have..." Hundreds of kids gathered on this field. And before we landed, I said the same thing. I said, "Would you like to do a few loop-de-loops for the kids?" And he said, "Sure, go ahead." So we went, we landed. Hundreds of kids ran to the plane. Captain Video got on the wing and promptly threw up. What an act to have to follow.
Official space helmet off. Captain Video, wherever you are.
Getting back to Sugarfoot, I mentioned this to you before. I took the DVDs down when I visited my mother, and I can't get them back. She loves the show so much. She loves when there's a lot of romance in an episode.
There was quite a bit of that.
Yeah.
I always left them in the lurch, or they left me in the lurch. Right. We have a nice drugstore, pharmacy right here, and Babs loaned the guy, the pharmacist, some of my Sugarfoot. But this guy happens to like one called Stranger in Town, which I didn't remember at all. So Babs is going to the market, so I just put it on. And then I remembered it, yeah. And it was a nice, tightly knit script. Yeah, you have to have a good script. And it was a good one. I didn't get to do much funny stuff, but it was. I read my lines right, and it really had a nice quality to it, and I was really proud of it. And I said, "Geez, maybe our show wasn't that bad after all." And Classic Images, that newspaper. Well, in the latest issue, this guy David Greenland has written a tribute to Sugarfoot, not to me, but to Sugarfoot. 2 pages with pictures. And I was so proud of that. Gee, I was so, after all these years, 60 years, 200 Westerns on TV, and he picked mine out to pay tribute to. Yeah, that was really great.
That's fantastic. That's in the most recent, I believe, the most recent issue of
the
Classic
recent
Images.
Issue, yeah. Oh, I hope I saw a few issues there.
Yeah. I want to segue into something that you did for, I'm not even sure how long you did it, but I want to play a whole bunch of it today, and that's your radio show, Golden Melody Saloon.
Yeah, and I told you before that we did it as a Golden Melody Saloon with a lot of saloon jokes. I throw in some drunks there. And after a while, Boston Pete says, "That's getting a little raucous," so it just became Hutch's Golden Melodies.
Right.
Yeah.
I liked it because you had some characters on the show. You had Smitty.
I played Smitty.
Right, right. And who was the she was a barmaid or a floozy or something.
She said, I'm a barmaid, a bar girl. No. Oh, no, a barmaid, yes. That was Chicago Molly. I got that from W.C. Fields. And then Fancy was a waitress.
Oh, that's right.
And then I played Assorted Drunks.
How were you doing this show? Were you recording it on...
I forget originally how I did it, but eventually Boston Pete bought me a set, weird-looking gizmo, and I sent him the gizmo, and then he would make the show out of that. And I did it right down in the basement. But I was going to ask you about that. Eventually, he just started sending me the show on MP3s. Originally, it was on CDs, and I could play them and make copies and send them to people, the way I did with you.
Right.
But the MP3s, there's so many shows on there, I don't know how to get just my show onto a CD. Do you have the equipment to do that?
Yeah, I can do that. That's easy.
You shouldn't have said that.
Now we're going to get thousands of them. But how...
You're going to get some in the mail.
How long did you do that show?
Oh, I lost track. Hey, Babs? She doesn't know either.
She doesn't know.
Well, at least 5 years or so. Yeah.
Wow.
We weren't on regularly. We just were on sporadically.
Right. So it just sort of appeared. It was just
yeah.
It's like Brigadoon. So how about this? How about we play a half hour's worth of your radio show, Hutch's Golden Melody Saloon, to celebrate your 91st birthday?
What a great honor this is. Gee whiz. I didn't expect anything like that. I just was sending you stuff because you're always doing great things, and I didn't know what else to do.
Oh, no,
I thought I sent you other stuff, too. I'll have to send the other stuff I was going to send.
Yeah, keep it coming. Well, listen, I'm a fan of yours, as you know, so good talking to you as always, and give my love to
Great
Babs. And
okay.
Happy 91st, and adios, amigo.
Adios, amigo. And it's so great to know you all. I'm big fans of you and all your listeners.